can't believe it's like almost the end of October.
It's wild how fast this month is going. And I still don't have a Halloween costume. I'm like, oh my God.
I know, it's weird. It's like Halloween, we got some time. It's like right around the corner.
We don't have time.
Like my son Jake, he goes to U of A and he's coming home this weekend because he has a party on Saturday. And I'm like, oh crap, because Thanksgiving, Halloween's on a Thursday. So it's like the parties are on Saturday. You know what I mean? My wife was just there over the weekend for homecoming. And she goes with all her sorority sisters, all her friends, and they all make this huge deal out of it. It's just something that I was never into as a human being. I don't care about that kind of stuff. I don't want to be around so many people. And my son Jake lives in an apartment right by there, and she called him and said, come meet me. So he went down there. She said he was there for like 30 minutes, and then he goes, I don't like any of this. And he left. I was like, yeah, I did
just
it.
like his father before him.
100%. 100%. So then she comes home yesterday. I haven't seen her like in 3 or 4 days, right? So she comes home yesterday, and it was like at nighttime, and it was like 7, 8 o'clock, and she's wearing this robe, this light blue, like silk robe, right? So I was like noticing the robe. It was very nice, sexy robe. And I was like, oh, that's nice. Is that new? Because she told me that she was doing some shopping when she was there, right? Oh, is that new? And she's like, not really. I got it at my bridal shower. I was like, oh, okay.
I'm not new.
So you wear
the whole time.
You wear this quite a bit? I didn't know that. My God. Anyway, so that was cool. We were all in the Pride Parade yesterday. That was fun. That was such a cool showing out of all of us, man. It was fun.
There was a lot of people there. I was really impressed.
That might have been this is our 11th in a row, I think. For us being in the Pride Parade. And I will say, Peyton, you don't need a bullhorn, but on the bullhorn, you were very effective when you're talking to the crowd.
I didn't feel like I was as talented as you were. No. Thank you.
You project. I was telling your brother, I'm like, of all the people in the show that doesn't actually need a bullhorn, I would say your sister didn't even need one.
My voice does project pretty far. That
batteries
is true.
might be dead on that bad boy.
You got to hold on the side. It has a talk holding thing, and then you got to turn the volume up.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, this thing?
Yeah, so make sure the volume.
Check 1, 2, check 1, 2.
You got to turn the volume up on the other side. There's like a little spinny thing.
Hello?
Hey, there it
So
is.
Peyton was talking on this bullhorn.
Right in front of my ear.
Her brother and I were walking in the parade, and he goes, she doesn't need a bullhorn.
That's hilarious.
It's true, though. As you can see, my voice is kind of gone.
You look like you were in your glory once you were sitting on the back of the convertible with the bullhorn.
Of course, all the attention was on me.
So happy.
Of course. No.
So,
and it was a beautiful day yesterday.
It was.
Gorgeous weather.
I'm trying to get like this... It's some extra exercise in as much as I can. So after I walked in the parade, right? And I don't know how long that parade route was. Was it a mile
and a half, maybe?
A mile and a half?
Yeah, maybe.
So when we were done with the parade, I was like, I'm going to walk back to my car. You know, I'm feeling it. Like my wife wasn't home. My son was at basketball practice. And I was like, I got nothing else to do. I'm just going to walk back to my car. And then to myself, I'm like, let's just do it. Let's walk back to the car. Let's go. I'm going to walk back to the car. And then Kyle's in the car. Jess from Love Pup is driving the car. There's a couple volunteers in the car. And it's a little Mustang that Peoria Ford gave us to use, right? And I was like, I don't want to walk that far.
John Jay looks at me and goes, because Peyton, I think your brother, Rich, you disappeared. I don't know where you went.
I went to go find an Uber.
Yeah.
I just wandered off.
But I know. I was like, where'd Rich go? But it was like, Peyton, it was you, your brother, and Jenna. And I think you guys had decided to go somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I definitely didn't want to walk back to my car. So I was like, Jess, can I hitch a ride with you over to where I parked? And then John Jay looks at me and goes, so I'm just going to walk back to my car by myself? Hop in.
So I get this little Mustang convertible, okay? So there's a little spot. Kyle moves over, and then I jump in next to her, right?
So we're in the back seat
of a
two-seater, basically.
Yeah.
Jess is in front. One of the volunteers and one of the adorable dogs up for adoption is in the front. And there's another volunteer, me in the middle, and John Jay in this back seat that isn't really meant for people to sit in. I don't think.
Like, I don't fit in that back seat if I was by myself.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm there with Kyle and another person in the back seat, and she starts driving towards my car. I start to lose the feeling in my knees down. Like,
by the way, I saw you guys go past me.
I was actually sitting on top of that bullhorn, and then there was a dog underneath the volunteer who was kind of sitting up, right? And then I just look over and John Jay, I've never seen such a tall man fit in such a small space, has his knees up by his chin. And he's just like, so it kind of feels like we're still in the parade. I was like, John Jay, you need to like give a high five to your trainer because this flexibility happening here is pretty impressive.
Mobility days are working for me because I feel like. But then we're driving down the street and I try to adjust a little bit. So it's a convertible, and out of my pocket flies my car key. Falls out of my pocket. Like that's how high up I am on the Mustang, right? And I look, I hear clink, 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 and it just goes past us. And I'm like, I gotta get out. So I jumped out and got it, but it was like, and then I walked to my car. And when I went to go get my car, when I went to go get my key, I had to walk. Right, I'm wearing Pride stuff, pink shoes, pink socks, pink hair, and I go to pick up my car key, and it's right at the front door of a construction worker in traffic, and I grab my key and I go, it's my car key. But Peyton, where'd you go? Because you posted pictures of a restaurant that looked really good.
Yeah, so I went out, me, Jenna, and my brother Jalen. We went to go get espresso martinis, and then we went to this restaurant. It's right on Roosevelt Row. It's called Love Bite, and they used to be called Love Sack. But I think they got into like a little bit of issues with the name because of the beanbag company. So they had to completely change their name and they went super viral. They opened up, I think, back in February, but it's little dumplings and they are so stinking good.
That sounds amazing.
The girl that owns the restaurant is my brother Jalen's friend. So we like showed up for like the new drop that she had and she had like a Southwest inspired dumpling and they were seriously to die for. So good. It has like chicken, bell peppers, like cheese, black beans, like and it was so flavorful. And then they top it with a salsa and like a sour cream and like Mexican rice. Seriously, so good. And it's the cutest little shop. It's like one of those things that you go in and then you kind of come out because the girl, she's from the UK. And she said that in the UK, they have a lot of restaurants where it's like fast casual, but not fast food. And so she tried to bring that to States.
Why would you call it Love Sack? Like, did you go research it before you call it Love Sack? Because as soon as you said Love Sack, I was like, the beanbag company?
I know.
As soon as you say Love Bites, I think about the Def Leppard song.
Oh,
so which one is it?
But Love Bites is a great name.
It's called Love Bite. And
like if I had to pick two names for a dumpling place, I would have gone with Love Bites over Love Sack.
Yeah, I feel you, but she wasn't from here. She's not from the States, so I don't know if she knows.
Things are different in
Google
the UK,
Love Sack.
Anyways, go to Love Bite on Roosevelt Row because seriously, the food was so good. Customer service was like top, like A1. It was so good.
But you said that there used to be lines around the door.
There was, yeah.
But they all knew it as Love Sack.
Exactly, and I think that's why maybe there's not as much foot traffic anymore because they had to change their name. So when you look up Love Sack, all the beanbags come up, not the dumpling place. So I was like, that place needs to have a line wrapped around the corner. Like, it's ridiculous.
All right, so Google Love Bites and go to Love Bites.
Yeah, go.
Unless there's other restaurants called Love Bites. I would think someone
Love Bite.
Oh, Love Bite. Lovebite.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Kyle, what's coming up? 3 things you need to know.
Turns out listening to music may speed up recovery after surgery. So researchers actually noticed a reduction in cortisol levels when patients listened to music while recovering. It can reduce anxiety, perceived pain, and heart rate. The interesting thing about this study was that patients who listened to music actually used less than half of the amount of morphine compared to those who did not listen to music.
Interesting.
Although music on morphine, that could be fun.
I wouldn't recommend that, Richard. Either way, I thought that was pretty cool. Like half. That's a pretty significant amount of pain meds that people didn't need because of music. Okay, so when you guys go to SeaWorld, do you want to sit in the splash zone or are you ones that maybe want to sit further away?
Further away, always.
Depends on the weather for me.
Okay, same. If it's hot, you want to be in the splash zone, right? Because then you get cooled off and it's like really cool because you're super close to the orca. There were some fans who, like Peyton and I, who chose to sit in the splash zone that got a little more than they bargained for over the weekend. I don't know if you guys have seen the video yet. It's pretty much going viral online. These families are there watching Shamu, right? Shamu jumps in, dives down, and you can clearly see Shamu couldn't hold it. It was a number 2. Came out. The water gets green. No. You know, it's like this green cloud. And then Shamu swims away. And they think they're safe, right? 2 seconds later, Shamu jumps up. Boom! Splashes all that water into the audience.
Get that water out of the tank. Shamu doesn't want that water in the tank.
Shamu did that on purpose.
Yeah.
He knows what's up.
At that point, though, I would move. I would be like, okay, this could maybe not end very well, and I'm going to get up and I will move out of the splash zone.
In the video, it's actually really funny. I've watched it several times because there's a kid who looks back at presumably his parent who's, recording the video and is like, is that what I think it is? And then Jim comes back and splashes, and the kid's face afterwards is just like, why would you sit me here? Why would you sit me here? Hey, it happens, And that's 3 things you need to know.
You can send us a text. You text JJR and whatever's on your mind to 96893. Like this text right here. It says, John G. Rich, I'm so creepy. I always message Peyton, LOL. But she's the best. I wish I was like her when I was 25. I'm a 29-year-old female that's actually 32. Ha, ha, ha. See, so text us. Text JJR, whatever you want to say, to 96893. What is the vibe for horoscopes today, Peyton?
Well, we are making our way out of Libra season, but I am going to tell you the thing that you are scared of based on your zodiac sign.
So call us at 877-937-1047.
If it's your birthday today, you are a Libra and you share a birthday with Kim Kardashian and Doja Cat. 2 very valid people to have a birthday with.
And Linda. No,
And Linda.
actually, it's not Linda's. It's not Linda's birthday. I was saying hello to Linda. Linda, what's your sign?
Cancer.
Okay, so Linda, for Cancer, your fear is rejection. Cancer, you're already giving off Haunted Mansion vibes with how deep you feel things, but your biggest fear is somebody shutting you out. If somebody ghosts you literally or emotionally, it's worse than any poltergeist haunting.
That's true.
Yep. Don't cross a Cancer. That's true.
No, don't ever cross a Cancer.
I know, I'm scared of you.
Thanks, Linda.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Joy.
Hello?
What's your sign?
My sign is a Gemini.
Okay, Gemini, if there is one thing scarier than a zombie apocalypse for you, it's being trapped forever. So whether that's in a relationship or a boring conversation or even an elevator, you have some serious don't cage me in energy. You would Houdini out of a locked coffin if it meant avoiding any form of commitment.
Oh my goodness, on point.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you
So
so
no
much.
fix. You're just telling her what's wrong.
Yeah, no fix. It's just what it is. It's what you're scared of.
Thanks,
Okay.
Joy.
Well, what's that?
I said thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
You got it. All right.
Bye, Joy.
Have a good one.
Kyle's a Libra. How was your birthday, Kyle?
It was fantastic. It was a pretty chill weekend, which I loved.
Oh, good.
Needed that.
What do you got for Libras?
Yeah, Kyle, for Libra, conflict is what you were scared of. Libra, you were out here lighting candles and keeping things balanced, and then suddenly, drama, confrontation, cue the sinister violins. You would rather face a room full of creepy clowns than deal with a heated argument.
I don't know about that.
I was like, I might lean in. It depends what kind of mood you catch me in.
I think so. It depends.
Yeah,
on
if
the
we have
mood.
spicy Kyle, you might get a clap back.
Hi, November.
Hi.
What is your
What am I
sign?
afraid of? I'm a Taurus. Duh.
Duh. Yeah, you give Taurus energy. So for Taurus, what you are afraid of is change. You have decorated your cozy little crypt just how you like it, and now somebody is suggesting a change. Cue full-on horror mode. Scream. You would rather wrestle a vampire than rearrange any part of your routine.
Oh, that's so true.
Yep. No change
Calls
for
a
my
little
Tauruses.
TD in me, I think. No,
Yeah.
no, thank you.
All right, November. Have a great
All
day.
right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, Susan. What's your sign? Hi, Susan. Today,
Virgo.
Susan. What's that?
Virgo perfect.
Ooh, just like John Jay. And that's funny that you say Virgo perfect because your fear is imperfection. Virgo, the idea of missing a detail or leaving something messy is your personal horror movie. A crooked picture frame, an incomplete to-do list. It's like being haunted by your own reflection, but the reflection is like a little off-center and it's terrifying for you.
It really is. That sounds just like me.
I know. My Virgos, you guys are perfect until you're not sometimes.
Thank you, Susan. I told you guys my wife was out of town for homecoming, right? So I think she was gone Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, came back yesterday. So what I do when she's gone, it was just my son Dutch and I, is I don't really put the trash in the trash can. I let it develop on the counter. And then we got an Amazon box. I bought some hiking shoes because hiking's my new thing right now. So I got some hiking shoes, and so the box that came in was pretty big. So I put all the trash in that box on the counter, and then it builds up and it builds up and it builds up, and then I put stuff in the shoe box and it builds up and it builds up. And then my son had some friends over, and they finished a Gatorade bottle and they went to go put it in the trash. I was like, "Whoa! Put that in the box in the counter." And Dutch's like, "Why can't we throw the trash away in the trash can?" I said, "We can, but it's like waist high for me. It's like, it's high. So I just grab it and throw it away. So I had all this stuff, right? There was trash everywhere, but organized. So I talked to my wife yesterday and I'm like, exactly what time are you coming home today? And she's like, 3 or so. Why? I go, because the house is a little bit of a mess and I want to make sure. And she said to me, you better get your ass to work and clean the house. Like, she never talked to me like that before. I was like, whoa. So I made sure the house was spotless by the time she walked in the door yesterday.
That's good.
And it was.
Are we just going to glaze over the fact that you said hiking's your new thing?
It's my new thing.
Yeah, what brought that on?
When I was in Cancun getting stem cells, I met this. There was a guy. So I was getting there's stem cells and there's NK cells. And in one room you get stem cells, and in the other room you get the NK cells. And I was getting NK cells next to this guy Rick, and Rick and I were talking, and he loves hiking. And he was talking to me about it, and he said, "I'll take you on some hikes." And I was like, "Okay." He goes, "Let's go Saturday." And I was like, "Deal." So I obsessed over it. It was Saturday at noon. So for a week, I was like, I didn't even never talk about it there. I was going to the gym and prepping on my hike. I'd get on the treadmill. I was on the treadmill. I'd put it on a high incline and try to go as long as I could for my hike. So we went hiking Saturday. He took me on a rookie hike, and it was a secret hike. He's like, "Don't tell anybody where this location is on your radio show,
that's
because I don't want people going to it." And we were the only people on this hike, and it was beautiful. And we just hiked all around. I could see some points. I could see the freeway. Some points I couldn't. It was just great. So I'm going again Thursday.
All right.
Wow, hiking
good for
is
you.
your new
That's
thing.
big time.
Well, I've only done it once.
Hike Club's been around before, but we just didn't talk about Hike Club.
No, this is just me and Rick. Not Rich, Rick. Judge and Rich, time for Stacks and Hacks. I have stacks of information. Rich has life hacks. New survey asked, how would you do on a driving test if you had to take one right now? Only 40% of people are confident they can ace it.
The written driving test or
No, the actual
driving?
Actually, I don't know. I don't know if it's a written. Let's just
I would
say
fail
both.
the written for sure. 100%.
I don't know. Driving parallel parking is always a crapshoot. Sometimes you just get lucky and you parallel park good. Other times, not so much.
On the TV show Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone, he has to get a driver's license because he's been in prison for 25 years. So he's got to take the driving test, and he's taking the test with the driver, and someone's trying to kill him at a red light. And so he's got to zigzag and do all kinds of stuff. And it's a very funny scene, and it's a great scene. It's great television, you guys. An airport in New Zealand put up a sign that says, farewell hugs in the drop-off lane are limited to 3 minutes. If you want to have any fond farewells, do it in the parking lot.
Fair enough.
My wife and I were talking about this story yesterday. A guy in South Korea partnered with a charity to break a world record by walking 38 dogs at one time.
Wow.
I saw that and I was like, you need to get a hold of that guy. He needs to work at Love Pup Rescue.
We had on Friday at the Love Pup Shelter one of our sponsors. And this is a really cool thing that we offer at Love Pup, that your company takes over the shelter for the day. And they walk dogs, they feed dogs, they play with dogs, they feed the puppies and all kinds of stuff. And McCarthy Builders was there on Friday, and I went down there to hang out with them for a while. And it's a really cool thing. If your company wants to do that, shoot us a DM at Love Pup Foundation. Speaking of, November 9th, Love Pup Family Fest at Vertuccio Farms, Shinedown performing, and we're going to have tons and tons of dogs in need homes. If you want a better night's sleep, they say stop eating processed junk food before bed or anything with high fat or acid content. Cut down on your portion sizes and don't drink alcohol before bed. Get this. Pizza Hut is opening up a brand new restaurant in New York City. It's actually a booth. It only holds one person, and you have to make a reservation. I don't understand anything how it works, but it sounds totally cool.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Thieves broke into a shoe store in Cincinnati, and they stole 100 right foot shoes. Don't think they know that you need the left one, too. Man thought his stomach pain was indigestion from street food. It was actually a live cockroach in his belly.
How did it survive?
Ew, I mean,
Cockroaches survive the apocalypse. They're fine.
very resilient, especially if you watch Despicable Me 4. That's all about.
It's all about the cockroaches.
It is.
Can you imagine, though, like a big old bug?
So gross.
What do you got for life hacks, Rich?
All right, well, here's the cure for the thing that's going around. You know there's a thing going around.
Is there?
Yeah, there
I
is
think my son has it right now.
See, he's got the thing. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed, but October, I guess, is the biggest month to catch a cold because they say October kicks off sugar season, like with Halloween candy and all the pre-Halloween candy. And they say that sugar, you eat it and your body can't, like process all the sugar that we have, so you get sick. Anyway, so when you feel your nose starting to get stuffy, try this hack. Now, doctors are actually starting to swear by this because it works so much. Cut up an onion, and leave it on your nightstand overnight. When you wake up, it should cure your sniffles. I do not know how this works, but do try it and report back to us if this hack works for you. Cut up an onion, doesn't even matter which kind of onion, stick it on your nightstand and let all of the toxins go into the onion. Then don't eat the onion, throw the onion away. That life hack and many more can be found at johnjandrich.com.
Number one show on Netflix is Lincoln Lawyer. Who's in on Lincoln Lawyer so far?
I finished it.
You finished it.
I did. I binged it.
Well done.
Thanks.
Kyle, how far are you?
I think I'm on episode 6 or 7.
There are 10 episodes. I'm on episode 9. And what's interesting about this season for me is the last season, they broke it up into 2 things. You know how? Yeah. So I was kind of waiting for that. So I just kept watching. And I was like, man, what episode? It was like, I was on episode 6. I'm on episode 7. Like, I wonder what makes them do that. Like Outer Banks. They did 5 episodes and they're going to drop another 5. The last season of Lincoln Lawyer, they did that.
Maybe there wasn't as much hype around it. So I think like maybe shows that there's more hype around. They do that to spread it out to make people more excited about it.
Grant says no, Kyle.
I don't know.
What do you got,
No,
Grant?
it's so they don't have to give people raises between seasons. They just cut the season in half and treat it like 2 separate seasons, even though it's just one.
So then they gave them their raises whenever.
They don't have to renegotiate until the next season.
So season 3, they already got their raises.
It'll be season 3A, 3B.
So sort of a
season 3 is complete.
Well,
all
then,
10.
when they break it up like that, basically it's just so they don't have to pay the actors. It's like a union rule.
Even with 5 episodes, it's your whole part A of the season.
Yeah, they can just be like, we're doing 10 episodes. That's what a season is.
Oh.
And they're like, we're just dropping 5 now. So you guys just have to hang out and wait. Yeah.
Peyton, what do you think of season 3?
It's my least favorite season out of all the Lincoln Lawyers. I think the first one is just the best one.
Okay, you know what's funny about that?
What?
I think the opposite. I think
Really?
season 3 is so good.
No,
I do. I was actually yesterday. I was watching. I was all by myself going, "This is such a good season."
It's a good show, though. I mean,
is
I don't
a
think it's a
good
bad
show.
season by any means.
It's just my least favorite out of the 3.
But see, you
wasn't
also
bad.
watch TV not paying attention.
That is true. That is true.
So they didn't catch you because you weren't being caught.
No, I just didn't really like the beginning. I feel like they didn't give me a very good recap going into season 3.
Peyton's all,
I probably
"This guy's a
needed
lawyer?"
to rewatch. No, I
Their
really
recap was
laughed.
fantastic.
I didn't think so.
You know what's funny, Peyton? It was also another one of those things where I was like, they gave the best recap. they did their recap before season 3 was a recap of 1 and 2 combined. It was complete.
Oh,
I
they
feel
never
like I
do that.
needed to
That's
watch
amazing.
Both seasons probably to get me into the Lincoln Lawyer mood, but it wasn't for me. I don't like that he has a new driver. I'm not into that. I liked the girl driver. I don't like the guy driver.
Have you watched the whole thing? Are you watching the right season?
Yes, I'm watching the
So
right
you
season.
know what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they solved that problem.
Well, yeah.
I know, midway through.
Right. And then the old driver came back.
I know. So annoying. It irritates me.
Lincoln Lawyer. You watched the Lincoln Lawyer.
And then she
I
got
watched the Lincoln Lawyer. Yeah, I binged it all 10 episodes.
And did you guys watch the Anna Kendrick movie?
No.
I saw the commercial for it, and it was really creepy.
It
and then
is.
I realized it was the Night Stalker. And I was like,
No, it's somebody else. Not Richard Ramirez is Night Stalker, right?
yeah, that's him. It's supposed to be him.
It's a different guy.
It's supposed to be based off of
No,
him.
his name's Adrian.
Well, maybe they changed the name.
Yeah, they changed that. No, they tell you all about the killer. It's somebody else who was on the dating game.
The Night Stalker. He was on the dating game.
Nah, that's not his name. What's his name?
I know it's not his name, but I think they were probably doing it for whatever reason.
I know there is the dating game killer specifically, and
That's
that's
the
what
guy.
this
It's
show.
not Richard Ramirez.
No, it's not. It's some cool
Adrian
long-haired guy.
something, yeah.
It's
I
wild.
watched the whole thing. It was very creepy, very disturbing, and I don't even know if it was any good or not. But I had to see the whole thing because he had to get caught.
John Jay, there's a scene you would actually really appreciate, or not appreciate, just as in terms of liking things that are awful. You know what I mean? Bad things. He literally kills somebody and then brings them back to life to kill them again.
Oh my gosh.
And like
It's terrible.
It's
Oh,
awful.
they did that in Narcos.
It's like the first like 5 minutes of the movie. He kills somebody and brings them back to life.
Like with
she was
some
such a
sort of
nice
some
girl,
sort of
too.
like shot.
He strangles them and then he like does
Mouth to
CPR.
mouth.
And you're just like, whoa,
Dang.
just to do it again.
Have you watched the commercial workout?
I think I saw part of the commercial, like just the trailer on Netflix.
Yeah, that's the part because there's a scene in there I thought was so terrible. The girl he's creeping her out, and he asks for her number, and she gives him the number, and they're in the parking lot. And he goes, "Hey, what's your number again?" And she goes, "I gave it to you." And he goes, "I know." And he's looking at it. He goes, "I just want to make sure it's the right number, and you didn't give me a fake number. What number did you give me?" Isn't that creepy? Because now she's like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah,
I wrote
I
down
mean, it's-
456 222 1441. Like what? Like
It's
oh my
a very
God.
tense couple of minutes. So that whole movie for that scene, I would say, which is kind of in the middle of the movie, is worth watching. But
I don't want to watch the movie.
It's pretty scary.
Especially
Real
if
life
it's, especially if it's a true story.
It is true story.
And that's number one on Netflix right now, too. Both the shows we just talked about are number one on Netflix. So yesterday, we were at the Pride Parade, and I was there, I don't know, meeting Jess, who was driving the Peoria Ford Mustang. Then Kyle showed up. Then Rich showed up. And then Payne showed up, I would say, kind of late.
I would say late.
Late?
Yeah.
Yeah? How come?
Well, and that's not usually like me. I really like to. I'm pretty punctual. I think out of all my friends and my family, I'm usually the one that runs the most on time. And I met up with my brother Jalen because he was going to walk in the parade with us. And he was already in like downtown Phoenix area. And if you haven't been to the Phoenix Pride Parade, the parking out there is atrocious because they shut down an entire mile of the road, right? And so I was like, we're just going to take a Waymo because I don't really like Uber anymore. I've decided I'm a Waymo girly. You don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to tip the driver. You can just chill and ride. And I've had no issues since. But yesterday, it was a little different. We ordered this Waymo. The Waymo shows up. I'm like set to get to you guys. I should have beat you guys there. Not you, John Jay, probably, but I should have beat everybody else there. So I get the Waymo, and on the app, it like will track where the car is compared to where your phone is, and then you can like press a button and it'll unlock the car. And so I'm pressing the button to unlock the Waymo, and it will not open. It like will not, the handles won't come out of the car for me to get into the car. So then I'm freaking out. I'm like, okay, the Waymo only waits for you for 5 minutes, and then it shows you the countdown. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm getting stressed out. Like, I'm getting a stomach ache. Because
So you're
I'm
standing
like,
outside the car and
yeah.
rolling you in.
And it
You
won't
knock
let
on the
me
window?
in.
I would knock on the window.
I was knocking on the. I was like, hello.
Yeah, you don't know Waymo's a driverless car.
Yeah,
Right?
but
Okay.
you would, but they
But
have
they have people
people
at
that
the-
you can connect to
Right,
and
they
talk
talk.
to. So I'm pressing the like help button, like help, and I finally connect to somebody. And as soon as I connect to somebody, the Waymo takes off and then starts driving on the wrong side of the road. So where we were at the apartment complex, it's like you had to take a right and then you would have to like take a U-turn if you're trying to go that direction. And the Waymo just took a left on the right side of the road.
Dang.
And I'm like screaming at the Waymo. I'm like, wrong side. Wrong side. And he-
You're yelling at
What if
his
it's all,
was
hello?
screaming at
Like it
me.
thinks it's in London?
And I'm like trying to like unlock it. And then the Waymo lady answers. I'm like, the Waymo won't let me in, and now it's driving on the wrong side of the road. I don't know what to do. And as soon as I say the Waymo's driving on the wrong side of the road, the Waymo stops. And then it drives over the median to get to the road.
Are you kidding me?
Idiot.
And mind you, it's a Jaguar. I'm like, I feel like Jaguars are expensive cars. They are
They are.
expensive cars.
Yeah.
So why is it driving over a median? I was like, those poor rims on that Jag. That's
Like he went
brutal.
over like,
Literally, boom, 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 boom. And then it looped back around and picked us up.
And you got in it?
Yeah, we got in
You
it.
got in that car.
We got it. We got
The
to
car
it.
that went
like, maybe I'll get the next one.
That's why you got to do the Uber.
It totally malfunctioned and glitched, and I was actually terrified because, like, what if we were in the car? What if we were in the car and it started driving on
I
the
know.
wrong
So
side of
why
the
did you
road?
get in it?
Well, because I needed to get to where I needed
I think
to
my
get
wife told me a
to.
story yesterday. Friends of hers were in a Waymo, and a car in front of them broke down, and the Waymo was behind it, and the Waymo wouldn't move.
So annoying.
They had to call to have the Waymo so that the Waymo would go around
Oh my
the car. Like,
gosh.
but like you're sitting there in this car for a long time before
Yes.
like what do we do? Like other cars are going around the car.
Actually, something like that happened to me recently. Like me and my friend Lindsay, we were out at the club and we had the Waymo come pick us up. And there was like, we're out at the club, right? And it's like 2. So, everyone's starting to go out to the cars and to the Ubers. And apparently these girls, I don't think they'd ever saw Waymo before because they're in the front recording and I'm like ready to go home. I'm ready to leave. And they're standing in front of the car and the car won't move. And so I have to like roll down the window. I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry, but like we're trying to leave right now. Can you please get out of the way?
Waymo won't honk his horn?
No, the Waymo won't honk its horn. And I'm like, I was pretty upset because I was ready to go.
So,
Oh my God.
Interesting, though. My Uber driver yesterday said that Uber is buying Waymo, and that may threaten the job of drivers because they want to do more driverless vans and all that stuff, too.
I'm all for the Waymo.
So I gotta support my people to
Not
drive.
drives
Not
on the
about the
rocks.
Waymo.
Yeah,
I
see
wanted to
too
take a
many of them mess
Waymo.
up.
I wanted to take a Waymo to the airport a couple weeks ago, and I downloaded the app and everything, and it wouldn't work for me. I was so bummed.
It's actually, it's a little learning curve.
No, it's like it wouldn't connect. There was something wrong with it. But check this out. So my wife was with all her sorority sisters for homecoming this weekend. And one of her sorority sisters was kind of a bigwig at one point with Microsoft and no longer with Microsoft. She has a new job, but she was interviewing for jobs. And I guess there's a competitor of Waymo coming. I can't remember the name. She told me the name. And my wife's sorority sister interviewed for the job. And the way they interviewed for the job is the driverless car pulled up at her house. And she had to get in the front seat, but the person interviewing her was in the back seat, right?
That's trippy.
So the car was just driving around town, and the person's in the back seat interviewing her.
That's weird.
So what are your goals? Like somebody behind you
Behind
talking
her? Yeah.
behind her while
That's
the
a
driverless
weird-
car is driving around. She got the job, but she turned it down.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's weird.
that
Like
weird?
that's-
Psychological messing with her.
It's getting stranger and stranger.
I wouldn't feel safe having somebody just sitting behind me that I don't know.
I know. And then
Like,
I
that
wonder,
makes me uncomfortable.
also if the car made it weird, maybe they want to see if you're going to go, whoa, hey. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
got to be part of it, right?
Yeah, something like that. But it was like an hour drive.
Wow.
Getting interviewed in a driverless car with someone in the back seat.
That's so
That's
weird.
not weird.
That's so weird.
I picked up the call and I go,
Hey.
David's like, I got a scary story. I'm like, let's go. What do you got, David?
Oh my God, I'm telling you guys, true story. This happened about 3 o'clock in the morning. I work at U of A. We do floors and everything else. Make a long story short, we were at College of Medicine. We were stripping the floors, putting wax on. I kept on seeing this old lady with gray hair down the hallway passing me. And I'm like, wait a second, no one is supposed to be down here. Make a long story short, we're having lunch. Now, in the lunch hall, there's little mechanical dogs throughout this lunch hall. As I'm telling my partner about seeing this old lady, this little mechanical dog started to bark for 5 minutes. Non-stop. I eventually get up, go to the animal, flip it, get ready to take the batteries out. There was no batteries.
Make a long story short.
Dun, dun,
I've
dun.
been in there.
Mm-hmm.
Couple more gray hairs. Walked out of the building. I left early for the day.
Yeah, I would leave.
But I could see her perfectly what she was wearing. There was a little hint of perfume she had. And I was telling my buddy this at our lunch break with all the little mechanical dogs. As
Beautiful
I'm telling them
dogs,
that
mechanical
dog was going
dogs.
What happened?
Yeah. Little mechanical dogs started barking. You know, like you would see like at a flea market. Little chihuahua-looking dogs
Should
that
we- what-
constantly bark.
What's their mission? Why do they have a bunch of mechanical dogs in the basement of the U of A?
Well, it was actually in the lunch hall, but, you
Oh,
know,
well, sure.
I
The dog
really
rescue.
don't know. You know?
Mechanical dog
I
rescue.
really don't know, but I've seen various things at Old Main, shadows, people talking, people calling my name. I would respond, and there'd be nobody there.
That's
Okay, so
creepy.
did you find out what the old lady was?
Backwards.
Did you find out about the old lady?
No, not at all.
She didn't work there?
Yeah, probably.
We need some closure from you. Your ghost story is all bullet points. I feel
Your
like.
mechanical dog, though, sounds like exactly like the fire alarm, that smoke detector that I removed from my son's ceiling that's still going off in our garage.
Yeah,
No
that's
battery.
weird.
Close to. You know, I mean, it was constantly barking for 5 minutes. It was getting on my nerves. So I got up. I was going to get ready to take the batteries out, and there was nothing in there.
Nothing in there.
Once I saw that, I closed it up and I walked out.
Long story short, boom, you walked out.
Yep.
Right. All right, man. That's a spooky story. Is that recent or was that years ago?
This happened this morning.
Oh,
At
damn.
8 o'clock in the morning.
Fresh ghost story.
Yikes.
So can you go get a picture of those mechanical dogs for us?
Yeah. I mean, I'm eventually have to get enough courage to go back in that lunch hall again, but not a problem.
Right. Dang, that's scary.
Yeah. So I just want to let you know that, hey, Halloween's my favorite year, but
My favorite year, too.
Too close.
All right, dude.
Little too close.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, thanks, man. Thanks. It's a great story, though. I'd love to see a picture of it.
He's still shaking.
Love to see a picture. Especially, it happened this morning. That's
Yeah.
scary, man. Make a long story short, mechanical dog kept barking. Make a long story short, old lady down the hallway. Make a long story short, I was having lunch. It happened this morning. It's 7:40 in the morning. When did he have lunch?
Lunchroom.
works overnight.
It's the
Yeah,
lunchroom. He's
I
waxing.
thought he was having lunch.
He
Though.
was waxing the floors overnight.
I eat lunch at 9 o'clock in the
Same.
morning.
It's not breakfast? Do you have breakfast too?
No, I don't eat breakfast.
I have breakfast at 3:30 a.m.
Okay, but you
I have
have
a couple
breakfast
snacks
at
and
3:30.
I eat lunch right around 8:30 or
But
9.
Peyton, you don't have breakfast.
No, but I call it my lunch.
So you're eating lunch at 9.
Yeah, but I don't eat breakfast
So that would
anyway.
be breakfast, wouldn't it?
I don't eat
Is
breakfast
breakfast a food or a time?
A food.
Really?
To me.
What did you have?
I usually have like tacos at 9 a.m. I had spaghetti last week.
Okay.
So that's, to me, seems more like you had lunch at breakfast.
Like upside down day? Like when you have breakfast for dinner?
Like my first meal's at 1 o'clock, and that's not breakfast. That's my lunch because I don't really have
Because it's
breakfast.
at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. But
Okay.
what do I know? We're gonna get to some entertainment news. I just saw Britney Spears posted that she's married again.
What?
Yeah, and I don't know how true that is. I don't know if that's just Britney.
I mean, I had seen that her boyfriend, that Paul Solis guy, who just got divorced and has like 10 kids, was supposed to propose soon. So maybe he already did.
She goes, Turks and Caicos, here I come. And, well, I wonder if she deleted it. Oh, no, here it is. She's in a wedding veil. She goes, the day I married myself, bringing it back because I might seem embarrassed or stupid, but I think it's the most brilliant thing I've ever done. She married herself.
Oh,
Okay.
that's different.
Did she end up marrying that Sam Asghari guy? Isn't that his name? Did they end up getting married and then divorced?
I don't think so.
I
You
don't know.
which one I'm talking about?
I think they did get
Oh,
married,
trainer?
right?
I was thinking of Bodyguard. Remember the Bodyguard that was kind of running things for a while? She married him too.
Yeah.
Why did Jelly Roll quit Twitter?
Jelly Roll quit Twitter because he said everyone's too mean.
Did you just find out about Twitter or something?
I think it just finally got to him. You know what I mean? Like, he's become such a huge superstar. And I think, like, at one point, if that's you and you're in that position and it's like really messing with your head, it's probably the best thing and easier just to shut it down.
Jeez.
I would too.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, people don't realize that like the words that you say online hurt people's feelings.
Well, because,
Like-
and also, like, I think there is something with celebrities that people, like, they're dehumanized.
Right, it's like you disassociate with the fact that that's a real human being with real feelings and emotions and has to sit with that.
Yeah.
It's such a bummer.
So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was over the weekend, right? There's a couple things I feel like are always happening. One is the Little League World Series. The other one is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, I know the real World Series is happening, right? Dodgers and the Knicks.
No, not the Knicks.
It's going to be huge.
Yankees.
Big time.
The balls will be a lot bigger. But anyway, did you see Cher and Dua Lipa perform?
I saw a snippet of the video. I didn't actually watch a whole lot of the ceremony.
So I'm a huge fan of Dua Lipa. Huge. But she's singing Cher's song, right? And it's a little flat, I think. And Cher, who is 78 years old, comes out and destroys it. Check this out. This is Dua Lipa first. Here it's kind of like, right?
Yeah,
Well, that's Dua. Yeah. You can tell when Cher comes in. She's 78. Dua Lipa's 29. That's Cher. Oh, I want to go back to the Pride Parade right now.
What they needed to do is have Ariana Grande do her Cher impersonation.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is so good.
Best. It's literally, if they could get Ari to do SNL
Yeah.
just full time, like how huge would that be? Because she has the best impressions.
She really is. She's so talented.
So Taylor Swift started her show back in Miami, right? And it was just, it's so interesting what a big deal it is that she like took a week or two off or whatever she took, right? But it was like consumed the world that she's back in the United States.
She's back in the States. There were a lot of famous people there, including her possible future brother-in-law, Jason Kelsey. But he seemed over it because there's videos of him sleeping.
Yeah, I saw that.
During the concert. I'm like, you better have a good excuse because you know the Swifties are going to come after you. Number one.
Everybody's standing and dancing around him, and he's sitting in a chair straight up, sawing him off.
That was Kadeem at the Rod Wave concert this weekend. He fell asleep at the table.
Right.
Well, during a slow song, I would assume.
Well, Rod Wave is like I don't understand how you can get
R&B.
hyped to him. I don't get
Right.
it.
But then also, like, fans were excited because Taylor Swift revealed a new Reputation outfit, and like all the Swifties are really waiting for her to re-release Reputation. So anything like that gets everyone all riled up, like, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the Easter egg where she's telling us it's coming out soon.
Do you see that Zayn Malik postponed his tour, right?
Yeah, he's going to start it back up, dates in January.
But he's still keeping the tour in Europe. It's like he's on that now. And then his American tour, which starts in November, he's postponing because of what happened. But I wonder why he wouldn't postpone the tour he's on now.
Maybe he's like, I would think losing a good friend like this, someone that, like he actually had said, Zayn had said, we butted heads, in real life. Maybe it made him realize, like, the important things in life. Like, maybe I want to spend the holidays with my family and I really want to put priority in the people in my life. I don't know. Sometimes, like, when people die, it's like, it really makes you think a lot about your priorities and who you're spending time with. So maybe that was it. Maybe he just knew that he was going to need a mental health break or something.
Sometimes Kyle will send over what she wants to talk about in entertainment news. And I'm assuming, what did I type from? Did you type or talk?
I always talk to text it.
Okay. Can you read what you wrote about Zayn? You want me to read it to you? She wrote, I think what she wanted to say was Zayn Malik postponed his tour. What came through was Zayn Malik Popes boned his tour. I was reading that over and over this morning. I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? And it just hit me right now. Popes boned his tour.
I guess I didn't proofread that.
Well, that is a headline.
That would be big news, right? What's the Pope doing? Jeez Louise.
Oh, man. All right.
Sorry about that.
What, is there anything else we need to get to do? Sabrina Carpenter?
I thought that was a funny moment in her concert. She had one of those classical. I always wonder, like, how do these celebrities remember all the lyrics to all their songs? And sometimes they're human and forget them.
I forgot the lyrics.
That's actually good for her because now she dispels all the lip syncing things.
Oh, the mic was on, baby.
Now all that talk of her not
You're
singing.
right, Rich. That was actually probably very much on purpose.
I think it was because she was getting a lot of heat.
She was.
She
for having her
sings
track.
great.
Good catch.
Yeah. Did you guys see the Olivia Rodrigo slip up though?
Yes.
With the kiss cam? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's got like this, she calls her guts cam. This is basically the kiss cam at her concert, and this happened.
I have a really huge fun favor to ask. Would you guys give us a kiss on the guts cam?
They're siblings.
Brother and sister.
So she asked like
That's terrible.
Peyton and Jalen to kiss. They're like,
Somebody asked me if Jalen was my boyfriend yesterday. I'm like, that is my little brother. Ew.